Elimination Chamber was a pretty good event. Although I had to wake up 4:30 in the morning to watch it, it was definitely worth it. The first thing I have to mention is the crowd. They were absolutely insane. And this is probably one of the best crowds that we've had in a little while. And I'm glad to see that Perth actually cares about WWE, unlike the fans at the Royal Rumble who were just dead. Let's start with the first match, the Women's Elimination Chamber. Now, if you saw my prediction, you will know by now that I was right. Becky Lynch did indeed win the chamber, except moving on to another note, I went a little harsh on Liv Morgan. I probably should have known she was going to make it that far. And I was really not expecting it to end that quickly. I mean, Bianca got eliminated, and then straight after that, it was Liv. Now, this wasn't a too special elimination chamber match, but it had some cool moments every now and then. I still yet to understand why Perth was for some reason cheering for Tiffy, but you know. And you see, I wasn't expecting Raquel Rodriguez to go that far. And I also wasn't expecting that Liv wasn't the one to eliminate Tiffany because they had a rivalry on SmackDown and stuff. Naomi, I feel bad for her. She was the first one eliminated. The first one eliminated should have been Raquel Rodriguez. She didn't deserve at all to make it that far. But yeah, I think it was a pretty good match, and you could remember it every now and then. Moving on to the tag team match. Now, like everyone knew, the Judgment Day would win. The one thing that I wasn't expecting was how good the match actually was. I wasn't expecting too much from this match. In the match, there wasn't anything special, but it just felt so good somehow. It felt like it had all the hype, and the New Czech Republic really put on a good performance. At one point, I really thought they were gonna win it, but deep down, I knew that the Judgment Day were gonna win. Man, Dom can't go get a break at any event because he just gets booed wherever he is. And I mean, wow, poor Dom, because he's actually a really good wrestler. But yeah, this match was a lot better than I thought, and the Judgment Day retains, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But moving on to the Grayson Waller effect. Now, I feel like they could have done a lot more with what Roman Reigns was talking to Grayson Waller about on SmackDown. I didn't expect it. I thought like The Rock or Solo would come out, but no, it was just Grayson Waller acknowledging Roman. However, this was probably definitely the funniest segment, although it did actually talk about some stuff that were important. I feel like this was kind of every Grayson Waller effect is just for the memes. The only thing that actually mattered here was the fact that Cody wants to call out The Rock. If they can actually get this on a Raw and SmackDown, I will definitely be watching it because that is going to be so good. Except the thing is, we don't know if Cody's actually going to win that. I mean, Cody, if they do end up doing that, Cody doesn't have all the potential to beat Rock. He has all the potential to beat Roman, but The Rock is just different. Talking about Austin Theory, though, I mean, that was probably. I mean, we haven't seen him in a while, and wow, he just got completely destroyed by Seth and Cody. Now, I knew somebody was gonna get beat up here, but of course, it had to be Austin Theory. And I guess he's really a fan of The Rock. Also, I underestimated how strong he was. I mean, his body looks like he merged with Braun Breaker. But yeah, moving on to the men's elimination chamber match. Now, this was everything I expected it to be. Wasn't too special, but it wasn't too bad. This you could definitely remember, and again, I was right, and Drew won it. You see, the only thing I wasn't expecting was that Logan Paul was the one to cost Randy it. I was at least for sure that either Kevin or Logan would pin each other. But no, Logan got his revenge on Randy, and that was really interesting to see. The thing is about this that this is probably going to lead up to Randy versus Logan at WrestleMania, but come on, Randy's at WrestleMania. Logan Paul's a great wrestler and anything, but he doesn't have the potential to face Randy at WrestleMania. Randy needs something a little bit better than that. Also, let's be real. They made the excuse that Lashley got eliminated because he had a hurt elbow. We all know he wouldn't have won anyway. You see, the only thing that's weird here is that AJ Styles came in and attacked LA Knight. Now, I knew something was going to happen with LA Knight. He wasn't going to get pinned normally, but I was not expecting that. Something very interesting, though, that I haven't really thought about is how bad I feel for AJ Styles. Bro flew 18 hours just to beat up LA Knight with a chair. Wow. WWE can do some crazy things sometimes. Moving on to the main event between Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley. Let's be honest. We all knew Rhea Ripley was going to win. And this match was actually pretty good. The attires were nice, and Australia went insane for Ripley. The only thing is, I just realized this now. When I was watching it, Australia was nowhere near as hype for Rhea Ripley as as Montreal were for Sami Zayn. I mean, they just went crazy for Sami Zayn. And even though that was a year ago, I can still remember watching that. My God, they were so crazy. But this match was actually pretty good. I expected this to be a good match. Now, it was a good match and everything, but it was a little short. I mean, it was supposed to end at 9, and they ended up ending it at 8:30. Now, I also feel like this sets up a lot of things because this is now Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. I've also been going on. I looked at YouTube a couple of times and I actually noticed that for some reason people were hating on Ripley and saying Nia should have won. And the only reason Ripley won was because it was in her hometown. Here is a statement. If that wasn't in Australia, Ripley still would have won. Because it's Elimination Chamber. They're not going to lose it anyway. And also, imagine if Nia Jax becomes champion and they send her into WrestleMania. So to all you haters, you know this is true. Ripley would have still won even if it wasn't in Perth. For my predictions, I got 4 out of 4 right. And yeah, it was a pretty good event. And it was not everything it should have been, but still an amazing show and definitely worthy of going up there to one of the best events of 2024 so far.